What's up, my people, and welcome back to the Daily Scoop, where we take a closer look at the conversation shaping Jamaican entertainment, dancehall culture, and the personalities making the headlines. Today, we have a serious dancehall discussion on our hands. The conversation is surrounding Masicka, his recent solo performance, the reaction from different sections of the dancehall community, and most importantly, some strong opinions coming from MC Nuffy. And trust me, this one is not simply about whether Masicka has a successful show. The conversation touches on something much bigger: loyalty, competition, influence, generational change, the legacy of Vybz Kartel, and whether some people in dancehall are genuinely supporting the growth of the culture or just allowing personal loyalties to get in the way. So today we are going to break it all down. And before we go any further, big respect to everybody who continues to support the Daily Scoop. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join the conversation. But remember, this is a discussion. People are entitled to their own opinions, and we are here to analyze a conversation, not tell anybody who they must support. And let's get straight into it.
Influential man in music, Vybz Kartel. 13 years it take you to come back out from prison to come put back dancehall on the map. That's the can influence people. If you go in an arena, influence people, influence dancehall artists, if you get more pay. You know what I mean? When Afrobeat have dancehall a choke, a lot of dancehall artists did outside. What they do? They never have nobody to compete with. They never have nobody to try to compete with. But as I said before, you have to have a leader. You have to have somebody to lead that others can follow and get to try and try to reach up at the top. But while they're trying to reach up at the top, there must be a homage and respect to the man who set the thing and come back and set the thing. Just as a man still a fight to be the king, and if him still be the king, dancehall now move. In at this time, Afrobeat take over. And the look one them but the dead we say them are new king now and young king and all type of king and all sort of something. Them never have the urge. Them never have the urge to have babes who wanna go on so. Because what? Nobody was there for them to fight and try to get the space and want to try to get in the position and say them are the man and you know, them ride by your wagon and them, you know, man, some man come and tell him, I say, oh, the G and him never did a friend and I'm and the man they a friend and all sort of something, you know. And when them they all about I say, free Vybz Kartel, because them want to get some forward and fight and all of these things. Them get all cockatty as if for them I do it. But guess what? When if it's a Vybz Kartel man and wash him foot man. It's a Vybz Kartel man. Wash him foot and drink the water man. Because if I never in Afrobeat take away dancehall, flat footed and flatted left and wrong. Vybz Kartel has influenced you guys. If you can come collect big payday, big check. They're in an arena. I'm not in a marina. And if you congratulate the G and show the G some respect. I'm on another topic now. Oh my God. How can I forget this? Today is Sunday. I wonder which woman I cook food with Foota. I don't know which woman I cook food with. Brother, you know no shame. Can you make sure try kill a one and shame tree already, you know? Only me alone can match stride with you. Me and you know why you still go after Kartel. Because you say I shine around Kartel. That is your problem. There's no other thing why you're going after Kartel. Because you say I shine around Kartel. That's the reason for you go off a cartel. Same way you say all of this. How you so concerned and have whole heap of responsibility for other people's business? Eh? How you mind people business? So you want to tell people how to spend their money, you want to tell people how to live. So you should have know how you can manage your own things. You wouldn't have so much problem. A problem in and broke, you know. You're in a problem and broke. You say it, you know, a problem in and broke. You're concerned about the next man's money, how him to spend it, and how him to spend it, and how him to deal with it. Put yourself in a position, Foota. Would you do all of these things that you're saying? Because I can remember when you have fully bad. And I said to you, say, come at me and Frasil and him go war. You say, Frasil in a fully bad league and you're not go there so. Eh? 6 or 1/2 dozen of that. Just as how you usually see me and Spice and go at it. And you usually jump up and say, I want aggressive with me. So till I have to jump off my wagon. So now comes you did you know what talk about other people business, how man fi buy man this and the man that, and how Visa get. You don't know how Visa get in Jamaica already. Eh? You don't know how Visa get in Jamaica already. You just try to find ways. How you find so much time on your hand to try to bring down people and people money and people business. So why you never steer your life that your money can't save? Why?
One of the loudest voices in this discussion has been MC Nuffy. And whether you agree with everything Nuffy say or not, one thing is clear. He believes dancehall needs to recognize achievement when achievement happens. His comments surrounding Masicka show were not simple about one artist selling tickets. Nuffy's argument was much broader. He was essentially saying that when a Jamaican artist step onto an international stage and attract a major crowd, that should be viewed as a victory for dancehall music. That is an important point because sometimes in entertainment fans become so divided into camps that they forget the larger picture. One person support Gaza, another person support Jenna, another support Vendetta, another support a different artist entirely. But according to the argument being made by MC Nuffy, there is a point where competition becomes counterproductive. If Masicka sell out a major venue, the question should not only be, do you like Masicka? The question should also be, what does this achievement mean for Jamaican music? That is where the discussion becomes interesting. Let's talk about Masicka. Masicka has spent years building his reputation from the earliest stage of his career to becoming one of dancehall recognized international performers. His journey has been based heavily on consistency, and now we are seeing another important moment in that journey. A major show, a major crowd, a major statement. MC Nuffy position is basically that Masicka deserve recognition for reaching that level. And I think there is something worth separating here. You can dislike an artist's music and still acknowledge when that artist accomplishes something significant. You don't have to become a Masicka fan overnight. You don't have to abandon your favorite artist. But if an artist represents Jamaica on a major stage and delivers a successful event, acknowledging that achievement does not weaken your favorite artist. That is the distinction that often gets lost. And this is where we also have to give CJ Milan enough respect. Nuffy specifically gave recognition to CJ Milan for his contribution and the role she played around the movement. The important thing here is that successful entertainment events don't happen because of one person alone. There are promoters, there are DJs, there are managers, there are production team, there are media personalities, there are fans, there are artists. And when all those pieces come together, you get an event capable of making noise internationally. So big up CJ Milan, because regardless of which artist you support, when people put in the the work to create opportunities for Jamaican music that deserve acknowledgement. Now we have to address the elephant in the room, Vybz Kartel. There is no denying that Kartel remains one of the most influential figures in modern dancehall. He influenced the way dancehall artists present themselves, and after spending years away from the public stage, his return generated enormous attention. That influence is part of dancehall history, but here is where MC Nuffy argument become interesting. He suggests that the younger generation needs competition. They need something to chase. They need a standard. They need an artist occupying a position that motivates others to say, I want to reach that level. And that is a legitimate argument. Every generation of music has artists who create the benchmark. When someone reaches the top, the next generation does not necessarily destroy that person. Sometimes that person becomes the mountain everybody else wants to climb. Let's remember something. Dancehall has never stayed in one place. There was a time when one generation dominated. Then another generation arrived. The new names appeared, new sounds emerged, new producers changed the formula, new artists challenged the established stars. That's how the culture survived. You had one era, then another era, and another era. Artists like Vybz Kartel, Mavado, Busy Signal, Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, Elephant Man, Sean Paul, Capleton, and many others helped shape different chapters of the music. Then younger artists such as Masicka, Alkaline, Joshi, and many others who are contributing to the current generation. That is the natural cycle. The older generation does not disappear because younger artists arrive, and younger artists don't become successful by pretending the older generation never existed. History and progress can exist at the same time. MC Nuffy also made another controversial point. He suggests that there is a growing tendency to label certain Gaza-aligned commenters and supporters as the new face of bad mind. Whether you agree with that wording is another matter, but the underlying issue is worth discussing. Why do fans sometimes celebrate when another Jamaican artist fails? Why would someone hope that a Jamaican artist concert does not succeed? Why would someone want a local artist to struggle internationally? Because ultimately, when Jamaican artist wins overseas, Jamaica gets attention. The artist win, the promoter win, the producer win, and the culture gets another opportunity to expand. So perhaps the better question is not which camp does Masicka belong to. Perhaps the better question is how does Masicka's success help create opportunities for the next Jamaican artist. This is probably the part of MC Nuffy commentary that deserves the most attention. He was not simply talking about Masicka, he was talking about the future. The younger artists needs encouragement, they need opportunities, they need producers willing to invest in them, they need promoters willing to book them, they need fans willing to support them, and perhaps most importantly, they need older industry figures who are willing to say, yes, you can do it. Because every major artist was once the new artist. Every superstar once had to convince people that they belong. Every legend once had to get their first major opportunity. And if the industry constantly attack young artists simply because they are taking up space, the culture eventually becomes stagnant. So that is where we are going to be leaving it for today. But my question to you is, do you agree MC Nuffy argument that Masicka's success should be celebrated as a victory for dancehall? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, keep supporting Jamaican music, keep supporting the culture, and remember, one artist's success does not have to mean another artist's failure. Until next time, stay safe and see you in the next one.